You had to prod everybody to get into it, too, and you were right on it. You knew we were going to hit that day. Let's go out next to
Gene,
the dancing machine. You're on 940 Wins Miami Sports. Hello, Gene.
How are you, man? It's Gene Pierre. I listen to you every day, man.
You're a great American. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I'm Haitian, obviously, Gene Pierre. Love your show. I have a couple of things to say. First, I'd like to say, you guys' shows are so good that it's a disservice to just have a toll-free number. I think 786-255-0940 or something like that also should be an alternate because you guys are too good to just be on a toll-free number. That's the first thing I got to say.
All right, we like that. We're sending that thought along to management.
Yeah. Second thing, hello?
Yes.
Okay, second thing I got to say. As a South Floridian, I'm Haitian-American, obviously. I love Cubans. I love the food. I love the South Florida. I love all of the baseball players and the sports, everything they do. I love it. But this thing about the Cuban players and Cuba's borders open now, I mean, come on, give it a break. This wet foot, dry foot policy is always one way. It's always glorified for Cubans can come to the water. They can come from Cuba. They can get over here and they can play sports. Whatever happened to the Haitians? I'm pretty sure people go and eat restaurants and whatever restaurants you go, there's always Haitians in the back cooking. There's always Haitian buildings. It's time to merge the culture of Haitians and try to at least acknowledge that if they come here on a boat, okay? And by the way, I have to say, Cubans is beautiful over at Cuba. They're not dying. The Haitians are dying to come over here. And there's a lot of soccer players. There's a lot of sport players. There's a little bit of everything. So I am just tired of everybody's. And by the way, it's the older generation that doesn't want Cuba market over. Every young generation of Cubans that I know is dying to go over there because it's a beautiful country. I just see that it's a very, very biased situation. And quickly about Dwayne Wade.
Yes.
I have to say something. Dwayne Wade must play a role like Andre Iguodala. That's it. That's all we want out of him. And he needs to be a diplomatic to Pat Riley so he can bring somebody here. If we can have Dwayne Wade, pay him the money, use him as a diplomatic to bring somebody big here, and I think Whiteside is the guy to do it. I love your show, and I think you guys should have a 7 number added to the toll-free 786-244-0940. Sounds good to me.
All right. Well said, my friend. Appreciate that. The professor coming up next. Speaking of great stuff, the power rankings for this week, doing them a day early. He hasn't had the complete week to really get all the stories in. You never know what might happen today, but we don't want to shortchange anybody, so we'll have the professor coming up in just a few minutes, the top stories of the week. One of your favorite segments, by the way, Mr. Mike Nyman.
Well, it's got to be a dead heat between Luby and the professor. Come on, I can't.
But the Luby's inconsistent. The Lube, we haven't seen one in 4 or 5 years.
But I have to say, the professor has something going that you don't hear anywhere.
This is true.
I've listened to a lot of sports radio and a lot of guys all over the country, over my life, and
power rankings
that
are
power
unique.
Rankings is really good.
No doubt about
really
it,
good.
and he's benefiting from it. It's amazing. I mean, now has a driver that brings him to and from the show. It's just fantastic.
I mean, who else could take a cheap shot at the Girl Scouts?
All right, we'll come back with that and lots more here on the program. We're coming to you live from the Breezeway Bar. Also streaming live video online, sportstreamnetwork.com. Todd and Jory out here just schlepping stuff at 3 in the morning under the cover of darkness to bring you this fine video. And you won't be surprised at all. I think when we first cranked up DeFo Radio, weren't we big in Alabama? Is there a...
Oh, yeah, because there was a military base there, yeah.
A military base? I thought it was a penitentiary. We were drawing the audience from.
Either way, it's a captive audience.
Limited freedoms, internet access.
There you go.
By the way, I don't know if the last caller missed the news, but the U.S. just opened their embassy back in Cuba.
Yeah. Well, that wet foot, dry foot thing, I would agree with him. It's a little bit of a double standard, is it not? I mean...
I'm sure Dwayne Wade was flattered listening to be compared to Andre Iguodala.
Maybe so, but he was a fine gentleman and he loves the show. There you go. Professor alienating our lone listener. Unbelievable. All right, back with more in a moment. Now that. How did Sheldon G work himself into the shot here like he was photobombing? That's great, man. You got to love Sheldon G going out to the Marlins game today. It's 9:34.
Live from Miami's Magic City Casino.
Yeah, you got 4.5.
All right.
In Broward County, there's an accident affecting 595's eastbound entrance from University Drive. This crash has temporarily shut down. Eastbound, no problems really as you're heading into the main line, but the express lanes are looking better. And so's 95 in Dade. Southbound, the crash is cleared from 62nd Street. I'm Erica Del Sordo for breaking news, traffic, and severe weather. Depend on News Radio 610 WIOD.
This report is brought to you by Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie has chosen to honor Independence Day by honoring those who sacrificed for us. Every cent of every dollar of profit Winn-Dixie makes this 4th of July will be donated to Wounded Warrior Project. For full details and to donate, visit your local Winn-Dixie store this Saturday.
Hi folks, Alan Thicke here. For some time now, I've been offering tips about how to deal with the IRS if you've fallen behind on your taxes. Telling you to call Optima Tax Relief because they're the best trained, most trustworthy, blah, blah, and blah. But now the message is so familiar, you may not be listening. Oh, it's him again. Well, here's the important message. Call Optima Tax Relief. They can help you resolve your IRS issues. The government, can garnish your wages. They can levy your bank account, even take your home or business. To be fair, the IRS also has a new program called the Fresh Start Initiative to help you with that debt. So we've given you clever slogans. Don't mess with the IRS. They'd rather settle for less than bother you more. Now the clever thing for you to do is call Optima Tax Relief now for your free consultation.
Call 800-798-2477. 800-798-2477. 800-798-2477. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What is it that you do on the water? I'm a fisherman. I like to go fast. I like to fish. And then I like to stop the boat and put my feet up and chill. Is that okay? How about you guys that paddleboard? I have a paddleboard. My son does it. But people that paddleboard swear by it. I'm talking about West Marine here, so follow along here. There's also the kayak.
Luby Lubitz.
I do.
Who's that? Johnny Damon on there? Who's that guy with the
beautiful
beard?
Stuff. Whatever it is you do on the water, make the most of it at West Marine, okay? They got the best selection of boating, fishing, and paddle sports gear. Slide into your local West Marine store or online. Anytime at westmarine.com for your life on the water.
Advance Auto Parts knows what makes a car guy a car guy. It's the commitment to maintain an engine through the 300,000-mile mark. It's burning the midnight oil to finish a job most guys would rather hand off. It's loyalty, and it's why there's speed perks from Advance Auto Parts.
Hickster, what's up?
Spend $100 and get $20 off your next qualified purchase. No cards,
no
points, no nonsense.
You got it, too.
Advance Auto Parts for guys who love getting under the hood.
What's the name of your last guy?
Visit speedperks.com for details.
Check out Knocker Sports Bar, full of sports, drinks, and food.
Lakers
Enjoy
blogger.
watching
He
the
also
Marlins,
the senior
Dolphins, Canes,
NBA
Heat, or
writer.
any other major sporting event on their 6 huge TVs. Head to Knocker Sports Bar inside of Tootsie's Cabaret, located on 150 Northwest 183rd Street in
but the
Miami
LA thing's
Gardens.
interesting,
For more
man.
info, visit TootsiesCabaret.com.
LA thing's interesting.
Tax tag
They're
registration.
getting Nolan right now. Kobe's an idiot. Kobe is literally pushing guys away.
Based on purchase at MSRP.
Don't come here, man.
This
my ball.
July 4th weekend,
Yeah, it's
we're
my ball.
lowering
I
our
wonder if he's like a little
lowest
bit. No, it's
prices
my
at
ball.
Toyota of Hollywood. Choose
a
over
minute and a half.
1,000 new Toyotas, plus this huge selection of pre-owned Toyotas at our lowest prices ever. A 2015 RAV4
Okay,
XLE
good.
at our
Good show,
lowest
Rudy.
price,
All the way around.
$21,875. A 2015
Except for,
Camry SE at our lowest price,
brief moment there.
$16,875. A 2015 Corolla L with automatic at our lowest price, $13,375. Buy a brand new 2015 Toyota with 0 down and 0% interest-free financing till 2021. Buy any new Toyota and we'll make your payments till 2016 at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total new Toyota retail sales in the Southeast region for 2014 per SET on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Hurry, sale ends
Tim
Monday.
Tebow?
Hot and steamy across South Florida.
Oh, Simone
This is your
saw
Friday,
Tebow
so
at her
get ready for
airport.
a long holiday
yeah?
weekend. More
Yeah,
southern
the plane,
clouds for the most part.
I guess he was leasing it.
Hours. Some
Said
thunderstorms are
QB
possible
15.
to roll through. Highs will stay in the low 90s.
That's not Tebow on TV.
That's your
No,
forecast
it
from
looks like
610 WIOD.
This report is brought to you by the law offices of Alex Hanna.
This
Tebow on
summer trend
ESPN.
continues as we kick off the long holiday
That Tebow,
weekend. For some of
Professor?
you, today might be your Friday. Expecting another very
That's not
warm and
Tebow.
quiet
You going to the
morning
game? You're not
out there.
going.
When
No,
it comes
it's
to any
not
sign of
Tebow.
rain, we could see a passing shower
I would
thunderstorm
have,
in the afternoon
just
hours. Lows will stay in the low 90s.
time I'm
As
done,
for the
I'm
weekend, expect more
pretty
of the
much
same,
ready
though.
to crash.
There's a slight chance of showers tomorrow and Saturday, and all should be good for the fireworks Saturday night. That's your forecast from 610 WIOD.
But this would have been a good game to go
Any
to.
criminal case or receive a traffic ticket and you need an attorney, call me, Alex Hanna, 305-883-7272. DUI, traffic tickets, criminal cases, call me, Alex Hanna, 305-883-7272. Offices in Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach. Call me now.
Hey, this is Jack McCann. Get your Marlins game on 940 Wins.
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world. It's simple. We now return to the DeFo Show, right here on 940 Wins Miami Sports.
What would the DeFo Show be without an appearance here at the Breezeway Bar by the professor with the top stories of the week, the power rankings we call them. You catch the 10 through 6 stories here on 940 Wins Miami Sports, and then 5 through the top story of the week later on today on DeFoRadio.com broadcasting. Are you guys going to be out at the Teak today? Or,
yes, we are.
Just came down for this appearance. That would be very noble of you to support the program.
You know, I'm way too lazy to be doing something like that, DeFo.
Hey, can I call in? And then, of course, you don't answer your phone because you're out cold. Which you're a night owl, man. I mean, you're a guy that doesn't really get started until 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
You know, that crack of noon comes early.
Yes. All right, let's get right to it because we have a big agenda here in the final 20 minutes of the show. So these are the top 10 stories of the week. We're going to start with
number 10.
A rumor early in the week had Jimmy Butler mulling over refusing an offer from the Chicago Bulls as a max contract so that he can go to L.A. or Boston. The reason? Because he wants to be close to his new best friend for life, Mark Wahlberg. I'd like to take a couple moments here to remind Jimmy Butler that, number one, Mark Wahlberg was convicted of 3 racial crimes during his teenage years. And number two, the last time a black guy followed around Mark Wahlberg, it was the Funky Bunch, and it didn't work out that well for them.
All right, I mean, that's a rocking start. I don't know where we can go from there, but that was number 10.
Number 9.
A Blue Jays fan brought a sign to the game the other night reading, "The Jays are just as hot as my new wife." Just like to remind that fan that the Blue Jays at the time were on a 2-game losing streak and 4-6 in their last 10. Now, I don't know if a Blue Jays fan, this man as a Blue Jays fan, has so settled into a life of mediocrity that he thought that sign was a good thing, or he was insulting his new wife.
Well, she's a 4 by that standard.
Yes, but in either case, probably best to rethink the whole sign.
Yeah, that wasn't a good choice of words. All right, that was number 9.
Number 8.
Number 8, Bob Costas, America's favorite midget, says the internet is a breeding ground for faux outrage.
All right.
2 reminders here for Bob Costas. If you're referring to the internet's reaction to your bleeding, pus-filled pink eye during the Olympics coverage, that outrage wasn't faux.
That was clever.
And number 2, a man who's spent NFL halftimes lecturing America on everything from bat flips to gun control probably shouldn't be telling other people about faux outrage.
You're not a big Costas fan. Referring to him as a midget maybe was a little out of order. That's number 8.
Number 7.
Number 7, do you want a $10,000 gift card to casual dining restaurant BJ's Restaurant and Brewhouse? If you do, just have to name your new child Quinoa. The chain, which has 163 BJ's restaurants across the nation, including 5 in South Florida, announced that in celebration of its new quinoa bowl dishes, it's offering a massive gift card to parents who name their newborn baby after the high-protein grain.
I've heard weirder names.
I suppose that's at least better than naming your baby daughter BJ's.
That could cause a stigma for the child all the way through his teenage and beyond years. All right, that was number 7. We're working through these quickly.
Number 6.
A report by the Radar Online and the National Enquirer indicates that Tiger Woods' relationship with Lindsey Vonn ended because he was having a torrid affair with Amanda Duffner. Duffner, of course, is the former wife of professional golfer Jason Duffner.
Oh, yeah?
And according to the Enquirer, quote, they've always flirted, but in the last few months it became, quote, a steamy affair, unquote. Now, while this is obviously a bad thing and you don't want to see Tiger Woods preying on the wives of other golfers, because Tiger Woods is golf and is great for the ratings, and which are always done. It's good for golf fans to know that for the first time in 2.5 years, apparently Tiger's driver works again.
We got to leave you with that one. Professor on fire. Any sponsorship inquiries, just dial up to Professor at professor.com. All right, thank you. That's coming up DeFo Radio later on. The top 5 stories ought to be beauties. And these guys will be live at the Tiki Bar out there here at Gulfstream Park. We're at the Breezeway Bar. Come back, take a look at the Los Angeles Lakers and why everybody is shining them on in free agency and what's going to happen with that franchise. That's coming up next here on 940 Wins Miami Sports, and also streaming online at sportstreamnetwork.com, and you can catch us right here from the Breezeway on that. Our first venture out here with a live remote on the Sports Stream. Back with more in a moment. Now that it's 9:44.
Live from Miami's Magic City Casino
you got
Traffic
4,
Center.
and I'll get Eric on the line.
Typical morning congestion remains, especially on I-95 and the main line southbound, pushing through the Golden Glades interchange, heading to State Road 112, the Airport Expressway, so save time. Same thing for the Palmetto northbound is very slow from Coral Way to the Dolphin Expressway in Broward. We are incident-free. I'm Erica Del Sordo for breaking news, traffic, and severe weather. Depend on News Radio 610 WIOD.
This report is brought to you by Disney Pixar's Inside Out. Disney Pixar's comedy adventure Inside Out. The film Rolling Stone calls a flat-out masterpiece. And USA Today says Inside Out is Pixar at its best. Now in 3D everywhere. Rated PG.
Sprint knows all families are different. Some have a mom, dad, grandma, and twins, while others have 4 dogs, 3 teenagers, and 2 moms. There are lots of types of families, but only one family plan that's perfect for everyone. Sprint's Family Share Pack. For just $100 a month, the whole family gets 20 gigs of high-speed data to share, plus unlimited talk and text for everyone. Unlike T-Mobile, Verizon, or AT&T's 10-gig family plans, Sprint's Family Share Pack offers double the data. It's the best family plan out there among national carriers. The Sprint Family Share Pack. $100 a month, 20 gigs of high-speed data to share, up to 5 lines, plus unlimited talk and text for everyone. Ready to switch but stuck with your carrier? Not anymore. Sprint will pay off your old phone and contract so you can switch. It's that easy. Visit us online or at a Sprint store today.
After 9/30/16, pay an additional $15 a month per line. Offer coverage not available everywhere or for discounted phones. Excludes taxes, surcharges, roaming, international, and premium content. Subject to new line activation, $36 activation fee. Credit valid port in. High speed is 3G, 4G. Prohibited network use rules and throughput reduction applies. Streaming video speeds limited to 3G. Contract buyout via reward card requires online registration and phone turn-in. Restrictions apply. See Sprint.com for details. Other marks are property of the respective
Hi,
owners.
folks. Alan Thicke here. You know, some things in life are just too serious to take chances on, and owing money to the IRS is definitely one of those. The IRS has the power to garnish your paycheck. They can levy your bank account, even take your home or business. Seriously. Thankfully, with one simple call, you can start solving your tax debt once and for all. Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm in the nation. They have over 250 professionals. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and the trust of thousands of satisfied clients. Optima's attorneys can immediately protect you from aggressive collections because they are experts in the Fresh Start Initiative. That's a special IRS debt forgiveness program that could save you thousands. Don't wait till it's too late. Get serious. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-798-2477. That's 800-798-2477. 800-798-2477. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
JM Lexus, once again, 2014 was their 23rd consecutive year, the #1 Lexus dealership in the world. Jim Dunn and his people do a fine job. Customer service, numero uno, all kinds of versatility, too, whether you're talking about the service department, the body shop, the pre-owned superstore where friend Sonny and Mike, they just got a great deal on a Lexus SUV. Unbelievable. Didn't think they could afford to buy it, and they made it real comfortable at JM Lexus. They stock more cars than anybody else. They offer them to you for lease or purchase at the lowest Napoleon possible Solo. price. JM Lexus already well on their way to being #1
She's
for
scum
24
just like her father,
consecutive years in volume Lexus sales. It's JM Lexus, Sample Road in Margate, a mile west of the Turnpike, just east of 441. You cannot find a
Where's
better
Spiller?
deal on a
No
Lexus
Spiller?
automobile.
Working.
And you'll get JM Lexus.
PC?
Once again, the ultimate place
On the
to buy a
way.
Lexus.
Good.
Sample Road in Margate, a mile west of the Turnpike, and just east of 441.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mobile Mike. Hollywood Chrysler Jeep is a name that you know and trust for many years. I was online last night checking out the ratings of dealers, and guess what? Hollywood Chrysler Jeep was #1. I'm with good friend and general manager Jeff Silverberg.
We have
What
a
makes you
grand
#1,
illumination
Jeff?
show.
Mike, is very simple. What makes us #1 is our customer service, our best price guarantee, and our
grand
convenient
illumination
location.
show
So if you're in the market for a new or
You
pre-owned vehicle,
don't have the
think
bang
Hollywood
because of the
Chrysler
horses
Jeep
here.
on 441 just
Which
south
is
of
good for
Sheridan
small
Street.
kids, too, because a lot of kids freak out when they hear that.
Can you grab the black Honda out of the glove compartment and put it
that
on
would
the
kind of
dash?
suck
What?
for horses,
Never mind.
right?
I'll get it.
Yeah, I didn't think about
We
that.
tested
dogs
it.
cower in fear.
Sorry.
Yeah, we tested
You
it.
try
They
hard
go
to
nuts.
protect your
Cats
car.
hate it.
Why not make sure your
My
engine
dogs
is
hate
also
it.
protected with a regular oil change with motor oil and filters from AutoZone? Protect your engine this summer with a
So, of
5-quart
course, I've
jug
got
of
the
French
idiot
oil,
neighbor who
conventional
sets
motor
off
oil, and a
$500
Giant,
filter for
yeah.
just $22.99.
Middle of the street.
What's the name of the family? And it's like the famous one that does all the
DeFo,
fireworks.
yeah.
Play here, and so do I.
LA Times Lakers blogger and senior writer for Basketball Insider.
Excellent.
There's we see the buckets. Now there's a third bucket this week. I think what happened, there's always been like a mother and father. Like this is a father bucket, this is a mother bucket, and since the last game, they had a baby bucket. So this is a baby bucket. So they got 3 now. There's always been 2. One's going to go to Parcells, one's going to go to another assistant, and one will go to a player later in the game.
There's nothing better than DeFo, right here on 940 Wins Miami Sports.
You're on with Eric Pincus.
Welcome back to the show. Jeff DeForest, got Mike Nyman, the professor, out here. Sheldon G's on his way to the Marlins game, and going to see Jose Fernandez return today. We've got the boys here from SportsStreamNetwork.com, Todd and Jory, doing a fine job, and you can catch the show on video at SportsStreamNetwork.com. We're here on 940 Wins Miami Sports, and we welcome to the airwaves Eric Pincus, who is a blogger for the LA Times, also a senior writer with the Basketball Insider. And Eric, welcome to the program. Good to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Now, normally this would be a glamorous destination, right? Everybody wants to play for the Lakers, but that's not turning out to be the case. What's the reason? Why is everybody being scared away from signing with Los Angeles?
Well, we can assume that. I mean, the top choices have not chosen Lakers yet. They also haven't chosen it yet. So we've got to see what LaMarcus Aldridge does. Plan B was DeAndre Jordan, then Greg Monroe. So until they announce, we don't know for sure. But it certainly seems like Aldridge is definite. Well, nothing is definite, but he's not going to be a Laker, let's be honest. And DeAndre, I just don't see why he would change locker rooms. But these are guys who want to win, and the Lakers aren't in a winning situation at this time. They're just not. That doesn't mean they won't be eventually. I like their pick, D'Angelo Russell, in the draft. I like Julius Randle coming back from an injury. And Jordan Clarkson was one of the best rookies last year. But really, Kobe Bryant's got 1 year left, and who knows what that year is going to be or how much he's going to be able to contribute. So who wants to go to what has been a losing situation when it doesn't look like it's going to turn around?
So what's going to happen? Jeannie Buss and Phil Jackson going to arm wrestle to see who gets Greg Monroe?
Yeah, seriously. I think Monroe is really an interesting choice, but I think that he might choose a better situation as well because, I mean, DeAndre Jordan's going to choose something. LaMarcus is going to choose something. If LaMarcus doesn't choose Spurs, I could see Monroe going to the Spurs. I mean, why go to the Lakers right now? It's just not a great situation, and they're getting shut out.
Eric Pincus with us from the LA Times, has a blog there, also a senior basketball writer with the Basketball Insiders. There's been a lot of speculation. There was even some talk. I guess Gabrielle Union was wearing a Kobe jersey on some shoot she was on in L.A., and people started talking about Dwayne Wade maybe becoming a Laker. How absurd and far-fetched was that?
It's not entirely far-fetched. Is it realistic? No. I mean, I expect Dwayne Wade to stay with the Heat, but this is a business, and he wants to get paid. Dwayne Wade is the guy who sacrificed probably the most out of all the people who have come through Miami as far as superstars, LeBron and even Chris Bosh, and these guys have gotten huge deals. Wade is the guy who took less, and I think at this point, I think he's done taking less. He wants to get a max contract, and so they're negotiating that now. I do think they'll compromise, but if they don't, then he's going to leave. And if he leaves, well, where would he go? And the Lakers don't necessarily need a guard anymore since they got Russell, but they could use some help and some star power. So I could see the Lakers, if they could figure out how to pay for a center as well, I could see them looking at Dwayne Wade.
Are the Lakers ever going to figure out that Kobe Bryant, not exactly the most people person on the planet, and probably not the best guy to bring into recruiting trips with all these stories we keep hearing coming out after these visits by players?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. Last year, Carmelo Anthony interviewed with the Lakers simply because of Kobe. So it's not entirely that. I mean, their friendship and Carmelo's respect for Kobe was why he even took the meeting. As far as before that, I mean, Kobe and Dwight Howard had a contentious relationship, and the meeting, I don't know who said let's have Kobe in that meeting because the two were not on the same page, and Kobe certainly didn't help there. As far as LaMarcus coming in, I mean, there's reports that he didn't have the same vision as Kobe, but of course not. I mean, LaMarcus wants to win now and wants a different kind of future. And who wants to join Kobe right now when Kobe probably won't play more than 60, 65 games if he's healthy, and more than even 30 minutes a game, that might be it. It's the end of his career. It's unfortunate. We all grow up and get a little old at some point. And basketball's like dog years. He's not quite 40 yet, but that might as well be 100.
That's the way I feel right now. I'm just sitting 64. Eric Pincus, LA Times blogger, basketball insider, with us here on 940 Wins Miami Sports. In hindsight, and it seems like this is a relatively easy answer, but in hindsight, when Mark Cuban said the Lakers would have been better off amnestying Kobe Bryant a few years back, and people thought, oh, that's a ridiculous thing to say, was he not indeed correct?
Well, he was saying it was time for the Lakers to move on, and the way that Mark Cuban's built his team over the last handful of years, or even longer, has been through going and getting cap room. He used to go about it a different way, where you just go out and sign and trade and add money and spend. But at some point, he realized that you got to be really careful on how you use your dollars. And the Lakers really heavily invested in Kobe in those last 2 years, and I think that was a reward that they gave Kobe for his years of service. I think it was something they believed the fans would want, but ultimately it hasn't really paid off. And I think all parties would have been best if they'd gone in a different direction.
Excellent stuff. Hey, we thank you, Eric, for joining us on the show. Hope to talk to you again soon. Doing a great job with the blog with the LA Times and Basketball Insider, very powerful basketball site. Thanks so much for being with us on the show.
All right, now, anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks a lot. Very knowledgeable guy there, a very rational guy. Talking about the LA Lakers and how people have the attitude of, run! Imagine, in a million years, you would have never imagined the Clippers being a more desirable destination in Los Angeles than the Lakers.
Or
what's
Donald
happening here
Sterling
over the?
A better recruiter than Kobe.
What's happening here at Gulfstream over the weekend?
Oh,
Big stuff, right?
It's going to be happening. You come out here on July 4th. It's free party in the park. We'll start around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, go till 10 o'clock at night. We'll have all kinds of things here for the kids, all kinds of free giveaways, face painters, all kinds of DJ. We'll have so much going on. Then at 9:15, we'll have the Grand Illumination Show by the world-famous Garucci family. We'll have racing going on as well. Post time will be 12:45 on Saturday. And then on Sunday, a huge day here, Summit of Speeds. Going to be the biggest racing day of the summer. Have almost 1.2 million in purses. All kinds of great horses are flying in here. Jockeys, we're going to have Javier Castellano, the top jockey in the country, will be here, as well as Victor Espinoza, who's doing a signing of a poster, which will be out here at the Cigar statue right next to the walking ring from 12:30 to 1:15. We'll have posters for everybody, but if you want to get a signature, you better get here early. We expect it to be very, very busy for that. We have a ladies handicapping contest. Our first one will be going on Sunday afternoon. That's going on in 10 Palms. That's going to be a huge event as well. We've got all kinds of giveaways. We've got a tank top on Summit of Speed Day. Purchase a seat, a grandstand, silks, 10 Palms. You'll get that. And we have unveiling our Speed Demon drink, which is an alcoholic drink, $6, and you get it in a beautiful container that we purchased that you can take home with you. It's a great souvenir. So
you had me at alcohol.
We got so much happening here. This is the place to be. Free parking and admission. So how can you beat it?
That's the great Mike Nyman, ladies and gentlemen, marketing director here. We have the professor. We thank everybody. Todd and Jory, great job there with SportsStreamNetwork.com and our new enterprise there. Sheldon G. off to the Marlins game to cheer on Jose Fernandez, who makes his return today right here on 940 Wins Miami Sports. 11 o'clock for the pregame, 12:10 for the first pitch thrown by Jose in just over a year. Hope everything goes well there. And we'll see you again. I will on Saturday with the JM Lexus Trivia Challenge. Live programming tomorrow right here. Luby's going to be on the scene as well. So don't miss a beat right here on 940 Wins tomorrow morning as we get set for a little holiday weekend. I'll see you again next week. And, of course, on Saturday with the JM Lexus Trivia Challenge. Until then, we leave you now that.
The time.
It's 9:58.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my soul.
All right, Lou Mishnowski.
And now
Well,
you're
you should
free
do a
to
generic
sports
rejoin
update.
thing.
It's Manny Munoz. Justin
I'll just
Bohr
say
hit a